of UKNOT. How are you guys? It's an interesting day today. Had some messages over on the TikTok about what has been going on. So here I am. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm trying to get our TikTok chat up and going. But if you are here watching, say hello. Let us know that you're here. Once again, I don't know how to make this happen, so I'm going to cheat. I was on last night, and funny enough, I'm going to bring Andy into the frame. Do you remember what I said at the very end of last night?
At the very end?
Well, it was towards the end. We were talking about the energy today.
Well, yeah, the fact that it was going to be even weirder than normal to be aware of it, prepare for it, and well, there are a number of messages. Maybe the first one we ought to talk about so we don't lose track is we also were talking about moving this to a better time so that we could all congregate at a better time.
Hi, Cardamancy. How are you? Welcome in.
But yeah, the energy part, because you and I were talking for most of that 2 hours last night about how weird the energy had been all week long.
Yeah. Are you watching TikTok by chance? I'm going to have to change accounts. It's the only way it's going to work. I don't know why TikTok is such a pain in the ass with chat. Like, I wish they would just bring it in to the same way that we bring it in for everybody else.
Right. I got you on YouTube, the live chat.
Cool. No, I can see the YouTube chat. I can see Facebook chat too. We just can't see.
I don't see TikTok.
No.
That would be a negatory on TikTok.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. I've got it. I got it. We got it. We got it. How are you, Cardamancy? So last night, towards the end, we were talking about the energy today on the 28th because we have so many planets lined up in Aries. And I was saying last night before we ended the live stream that many planets in Aries, the planet of war, there's always that possibility. I woke up at probably 2 o'clock in the morning, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and opened my phone, just had a feeling. And there it was in the middle of the night. So, yeah. And I quickly turned it off. I went back to sleep. Like, I'll deal with it in the morning. I will deal with it in the morning. But, yeah. Hello, Armageddon. How are you? So how are you guys feeling about all of this? And if anybody wants to jump on the stream with us, you can. If you type in that studio.restream.io/EUO JVSU XZF, you can jump on live with me and Andy tonight. Someone messaged me on TikTok at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Rita came on. She was like, I think we need you. Can you come live? And I'm like, I can't. I was in the middle of a cleaning bender. I don't know what happened at 10 o'clock this morning, but probably because I was trying to do something with the energy from the stuff going on in Iran and in the Middle East. But I went on a bender. I mean, I washed my floors. I did all of my moldings. I cleaned out drawers. You're effing pissed. That's how you're feeling. Well, get that out. Don't hold it. It's important not to hold it.
I think the largest emotion that I got, or the most consistent emotion that I got through the course of the day was, yeah, the anger, but it was the initial response was surprise. Like, what? What happened overnight while we were sleeping?
I wasn't surprised. I was not. I mean, I had a thought in the middle of the night, should I make a video and kind of just tell everyone to chill? And basically to kind of let things settle a little bit. I knew today was going to be full of all kinds of narrative that is being pushed. I honestly think that we all need to sit and wait for a bit before we get all our hair up in a bunch and get too stressed out. I'm not happy about the decision that was made. I think that they were planning it. I was texted Andy and I said, tell me that they don't follow astrology.
Yeah.
Because they launched it in the middle, like within hours of the US hitting the 28th. They do follow astrology.
Well, I know Ronald Reagan and Nancy did. They actually had an astrologer that helped them out. I don't know if it was the White House astrologer or somebody that they knew when he was the governor of California, but they were followers. The yeah, I just the no other way to describe it. But yeah, you don't concentrate that amount of energy, and the energy being our troops and the aircraft carriers and the airplanes and the
They've been sitting
Tomahawk missiles.
offshore. They've been
Yeah,
sitting there. They moved them out there 2 weeks ago. So again, I wasn't surprised. Cartomancy on YouTube is saying this is the Epstein war. I don't doubt it. I think look, I reshared a video I made back in June of last year when they were messing with Iran and Iraq about the antimony. And that conversation kind of came and went. But here's the reality. It's not the oil. They have a shit ton of antimony and we need it. Why? Munitions. You can't make munitions and missiles without antimony. And China controls 60% of the world's antimony. So why do you think they went there?
right.
When Israel is constantly wanting to mess with people.
Yeah, it used to be titanium. Now it's not titanium anymore. It's antimony.
It's antimony.
But,
You need antimony for solar. You need antimony for electric vehicle batteries. You need antimony
chips, you need it for everything.
for a lot.
You need it for everything.
Everything. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
made a video back in June. I shared it on my story to remind people like this was coming, 7-8 months ago?
Yeah. And there was a play for mine here in Nevada that Elon Musk was making a play for when he was very big in Doge, and he thought he had the inside track, but the revealing of the fact that there was a connection between somebody here in the Silver State and the Trump administration put the kibosh on that deal, where he would have been able to buy a mine and then have access to the amount of antimony that's available here in the U.S. here in Nevada.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the primary. But Mr. Global didn't talk about this yet, but I'm sure he probably will, and probably explain it a whole lot better. But I saw somebody else on TikTok today that's explaining the connection between Iran's oil, which is light crude, and Venezuela's oil, which is very thick, so thick you cannot push it through a pipeline. And the general feeling is, and I initially I didn't connect the dots that way because I don't think there's anybody smart enough in the Trump administration to think of this, but they need both in order to get the oil from Venezuela to our plants in the U.S. because U.S. Plants primarily process heavy crude, but the crude in Venezuela is so heavy you can't even get it through a pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
So they need the light crude from Iran, which is number 3 on the list. Venezuela is number 2 when it comes to oil, and we're number 1 these days.
Talk about a bunch of politics tonight. Like I don't want to. That's not what the show's about. So if we cannot jump, because I know because you work for a political radio station, like we will get stuck there. So let's not get stuck there.
I agree. It's more about our emotions. And the question that I was going to ask, besides the fact of what's new, is sort of with a smirk on my face, is what do we do with the energy that we now all have that was generated today? What do we do going forward?
What did you do today? I'm going to ask you that, all of you. What did you do with the energy today?
Like you, I wasn't surprised because I do follow it, and you don't congregate all those guys in one place. So
But
I
what
was,
did you do with your energy around it?
I just focused the energy on my side hustle today and used it. And maybe that's why when I got home, I was so exhausted that, I needed to jump in the shower to revitalize myself and feel better. I mentioned that just before, you hit the start button, that jumping in the shower revitalized me because I got home at the end of the day. And we even mentioned this last night, the fact that the amount of energy I've had to expend this week just to be normal has been exhausting.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I use the energy to get through my shift today. And
Yeah.
I've got to say, it wasn't anger. I don't think anybody saw that. I didn't talk politics with anybody. It was all good natured. It's the weekend, and I'm working e-commerce, and I'm shopping on behalf of people. So it was all very pleasant. No mention of
Finance
politics.
on TikTok is saying, "Are we supposed to do something?" There isn't really a supposed to do something. Like, are you talking about the show, or are you talking about just with everything going on? Because those are two different questions, right? Um, as far as what, like, if you guys want to call in and you want coaching around something, like, that's what this show is about. Okay, so he's saying, or she, I don't know if you're a woman or a man. Um, are we supposed to do something with the energy? You're always supposed to do something with the energy, because if you let the energy just hit or stagnate or amp you up and make you reactive, you're not doing anything useful with it. Like I said, today at 10 a.m. and I woke up at between 1:30 and 2 a.m. And saw the news of what happened, and then I went back to bed. And I was up and down last night. When I got up this morning, I took it slow, purposely, drank my coffee, hung out with my dad, made a list of all the stuff I had to do, and then got to work, and I scrubbed my house today. Now, besides me and my dad, nobody was home today. So dogs got locked into one area, and then I just went to town and literally took care of, I guess you could call it spring cleaning, and did all my laundry, did all my sheets, like everything, and just stopped about an hour and a half ago. I finally finished everything, took a shower, and got ready for tonight's show. That was on purpose, because I really did not want to be on my phone or watching the news. So that was my way of using the energy to do something physical with it rather than just absorb what was going on. Lisa Campbell on Facebook saying felt overwhelmed, so I meditated. Meditation sometimes doesn't work for people though when this amount of energy, like, it's ramping right now. I can feel it. And I can tell you guys, like, around 3 o'clock, as the energy started to really intensify around the planets lining up tonight, I started to get a funny headache and ringing in my right ear, which typically is a sign to me, something's shifting, something's changing. Um, and I'm an Aries rising. I'm a fire sign, like a Sag with an Aries rising. So I'm comfortable in the fire energies, but I can tell you, I was lit up today. Like, it was everything I had to sit down and sit still today, because the energy was that ramped up. So I can't imagine with some of you water signs, you air signs, and even you earth signs, how you're feeling right now with this much fire. We had a lot of fire energy, which can be very volatile. um, Aries is the god of war. Think about that. That's why I sent Andy a text message earlier this morning, and was just like, tell me they don't follow astrology, because today was the alignment that would say this is the day you want to start a war, which is stupid and unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Well,
They've
they
been
they
out
do.
there for 2 weeks. They've been off the coast for 2 weeks. I don't think I honestly feel like it's going to sizzle out pretty quick, which is why I'm saying we need to let things play out a little bit. If your energy gets hyped, I say y'all need to really name it. Name what you're feeling, journal, put it in a garbage dump journal and process it through. Don't hold on to it. Hold off. And I'm going to say this because we've got a hellacious Mercury in retrograde in Pisces going on right now. Like Wednesday on, communication has been really messed up. And then you've got all these planets in Aries. And I can tell you, like, the energy with trying to talk something through, work something out, have your feelings even heard, or how you're processing something is not going to happen. And your head's probably muddled anyways. So hold off on important conversations until the energy of fire kind of calms down a little bit.
And from a strategic standpoint, I'm not going to get too political, but just from a strategic standpoint, the reason this is not going to last is there is nobody in the Gulf that is allowing us to use their airspace. So we have to stay off on the ocean. We have to fly around, take the long way around. Our rockets have to go longer, which allows Iran to scope them out and shoot them down, give them more time to knock them out of the sky. Yeah, it's not going to last. It's going to be a quick hit like the last one was when we said, okay, let's go back. We did what we came for. We can go home again.
Some people are saying weeks, not days. I don't feel like it's going to go weeks. From an intuitive standpoint, I just don't feel like it's going to go weeks. I do feel like the initial reasoning behind it has been fulfilled. There's still a question: is Khomeini dead, or is he not? You know, and that's not even my concern. My concern is with the disruption to civilian life because these babies, BB and the orange one, want to mess around. People are worried here in the US because of threats from Iran. And I'm telling you guys, like, there's worrying about something that might happen that you have no proof of is going to do you absolutely no good other than to cause you massive anxiety and to ratchet up your blood pressure. Like, there's no purpose for it at all. Just so you guys know, that's where I'm at with that. We have other things that we can control that I feel like we need to focus on. And not be taken down the path of distraction.
Well, in your case, there is a primary election on Tuesday.
I already voted.
I know, but in Texas, that's something for the folks in the Lone Star State to focus in on. That's impactful.
A lot of people already, Democrats, already voted in the primaries. I'm not saying that there aren't going to be more, because like Brindy hadn't voted yet. She was too busy to get to the polls. But for the primaries, and all the primaries are, is to decide who the party, your party here in Texas, is it Tallarico? Is it Jasmine Crockett? And for the Republicans, I don't know who they're putting up. But in any case, there's different special elections across the board happening.
But the numbers are astronomical. I think the last number I saw yesterday, 150,000 more Democrats have voted than Republicans in the primary election.
So I'm going to do this to you again.
Yeah, I'm leaving it at that. I'm leaving it at that.
That politics for a lot of people right now are too overwhelming. And for all of you that don't know, Andy works for a conservative radio station as a programmer. And so politics is constantly in his head. I have to always snap him back and go, we're not talking about politics when we are talking, because, and for a lot of people right now, that's the conversations everybody's having. Everybody needs a break from that. So I'm going to ask you guys, because this is for you. This show is for you. What are you struggling with right now? If you could change anything in your life right now to bring a little bit more lightness, a little bit more peace, or what are you worried about? What are you trying to accomplish?
What is that?
Why'd you bring that up?
I don't know why that happened.
Because you pushed a button.
There. Okay. Sorry about that. That was me.
Seems like it's all about the number 79. 1979 was the Iranian Revolution. Trump is currently 79. Um, I mean, strange coincidences, right? Armageddon. But yeah. I'm gonna bring something up that somebody asked me last week. We already actually, I think we tapped on that already. The soul trap thing for this crew that watches the UKNOT. I was like, we could talk about that, but I actually talked about that last week. So y'all have to say, what do you want to talk about? This is our 5th show for UKNOT, and it was primarily supposed to be a call-in show, right? Where y'all can jump into our dashboard, get on with us. If you want to remain anonymous, you can. You don't have to have your camera on. You just need to enable use of your microphone. So obviously I can hear you, and we can have a conversation, or I can coach you through something. Cartomancy is still trying to get back on your feet after surgery. Girl, take your time. You know, it's interesting you say that, because I guess it was in December. I thought from my surgery that I was doing really well. I thought I was fairly healed, and doing quite well. Lo and behold, I went to lift a box up. I was unpacking the Pilates reformer thing. I went to lift it, and it was so heavy. And it took me 4 days to recover from whatever I pulled, because, you know, when they cut through your stomach, they're cutting through layers of fascia and muscles and all kinds of things when they stick their little cameras and pokey things in. And I had robotic surgery. I thought I was far enough away from the surgery. I should be. No. I'm just now at the point where I can lightly start to do ab workouts. That the tissues, the muscles, the internal stuff has healed. So take your time. It's amazing how long, especially, you know, when you reach a certain age, it takes longer to heal. We don't heal like we did when we were young.
But
And sometimes I forget that.
isn't that always the basic question? Because we're all living in it seemed like a quantum leap time wise. How long? Why is it taking so long? Why can't I hasten the process? Why can't I go faster?
Everybody wants to move super fast right now. Probably one of the things that I think, hey, Brenda, over on TikTok, how are you? I think that's one of the things that people ask me the most. You know, how long does it take to heal this? How long is it going to take to fix that? How long before, you know, I'm feeling better? How long before my energy and returns? And don't think that I don't question those things. I did all the way through my treatment. When I went through the chemo and the radiation and then coming back, I still to this day, I'm like, how much longer before I'm back to how I was before I went to the hospital? And that's not a question that can be answered that easily. Everybody's body is different. You know, I know my liver does not detox as fast as it did when I was in my 30s, which is why, you know, when I hit 40, I couldn't drink like I used to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When you're young, you can drink and deal with a hangover. God bless. When I hit 40, 45, I would drink and I would be done for a week. I would feel like crap for a week. I can't even imagine at this age. At 59, I can't imagine.
Same thing, metabolism. And when I was in my 20s, I could eat anything and I wouldn't gain a pound. Today, you know, I can eat a breadstick and pick up 5 pounds all of a sudden.
The food has changed too, though.
That's true.
You know, I watched, one of my friends had posted a video today. He was on a cruise and he said, I'm going to get heat for this. He said, but America, we have an obesity problem. And he said, and I'm not saying that to be judgmental. He's like, I just am a little shocked right now. And I was like, we don't have an obesity problem. We have a food problem. We have a bunch of ingredients in our foods and sprays on our vegetables and fruits that are not allowed in most other countries. That is why America's sicker and why our metabolisms are slower and we don't rebound quite as well, and why you can go to another country and eat a ton of bread and not gain weight. You can actually lose weight because they don't have the chemicals in their flour and in their breads that we do.
Yeah, when you go to Italy or Spain and the pastas and the foods they eat there, you look at it going, how are you guys able to do that?
Because they don't have the chemicals, the synthetic chemicals that's destroying the liver and
They eat fresh.
slowing down the metabolism and inflaming the body and all of those things. That's why, you know.
You've been helping me change my mindset when it comes to my meal plan, and I'm just in the early stage of it, but I can feel the difference. The biggest shift for me has been, and it took me a while to realize it, is the shift away from eating for enjoyment. You eat when you need to eat, not because you enjoy it
Or routine. My
or
dad's
routine.
problem is he's, my dad was a Marine Corps drill
Drill
instructor,
sergeant, yeah.
drill sergeant. So everything with my dad has always been very routine and very scheduled, and he likes to take care of me, especially since I got sick. He always tries to make sure I eat. And I mean, I come down in the morning and I usually will drink like oolong tea after having hot water. Like my routine is hot water first thing, oolong tea, and then I'll go and make some coffee if I feel like I need caffeine or I want the taste of coffee. And then it's a good few hours before I even want to eat anything. My dad, the minute I'm done, so, you want breakfast? And I finally have started to tell him, no, I don't want breakfast. Like, I'm not hungry. I don't want to eat if I'm not hungry. And most of us are kind of routine. Like, we just get used to being in this thing. Today, I ate breakfast, I think, close to. Did I eat breakfast? Yeah, I did. I made something at 10 o'clock before I started cleaning. And I
Did
knew
you even eat breakfast?
I did. I ate breakfast. I cooked for myself because my dad was out doing yard work. And then I didn't eat again until dinner time at like 4:30. I had some salmon and half a sweet potato. And that's it all day. Like that was all I needed with as much physical work as I was doing. But I'm very aware of where my body's like, yes, you need more. No, you don't. I'm trying to teach him how to really stay embodied and pay attention to what his body's saying. And he's just, he still is like 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And he's 84, so we're gonna. It's kind of like Milo, Milo's 11. We're like, it's at the end of his life. Let him have some fun.
Well, and your dad loves to cook, and he's a good cook. So that's the
Not
other
lately.
part.
Not lately. Yeah. No, he said the taste of food. He said, I've never had a problem. And some of you guys can probably relate to this. My dad said, I've never had a problem wanting to eat. He said, but nothing tastes good. And that is purely ingredients.
Mm.
If I make something because I went to the Asian store and I get some Asian vegetables and all, he likes it. But the normal stuff that he would cook, he doesn't like it. Too many things that sprays and all kinds of stuff. I mean, I saw that this administration legalized the use of how do you say it?
I can't say it either. And if you can't pronounce it, it shouldn't be there. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
But more use of it, which is what's in Roundup, the weed killer. Like, you should not be spraying our food with that stuff. They know it causes cancer. So the fact that they're allowing more of it, it's banned in Europe. It's banned in Asia. It's banned in Canada. Y'all want to know why we feel so sick and why we can't think straight? That would be why. So, yeah. Anyhow, We got 7 of you over on the YouTubes and the Facebooks, and say hello. Let us know that you're here. Because honestly, you guys, like
There,
Andy and I
there
were
is
talking about this last night. Go ahead.
there is one more other thing that sort of happened this morning, and maybe other folks may have noticed it, but I think it depends a lot on what time you wake up. You wake up early like I do. Um, I went to grab breakfast on the way to my side hustle. I normally pay in cash, but for some reason today I was using my bank card. And the waitress brought it back and said, "Your account says it's inactive." And this is my card that I use all the time for my points, and then I pay it off immediately because I charge it, get my points, my reward points, and then I pay it off, move it from my debit card. So I went to my bank online, and both of my cards at US Bank had zeroed out. No balance, none. I didn't owe anything. So I called the number, and this is about the same time that all this stuff was happening in Iran. So I don't know if I was linking that and thinking maybe somebody was trying to hack us and attack us some other way. I went online, called the 800 number, and there was a recording there saying there had been a massive system wide breakdown and that they were working on it immediately. 20,
Um,
yeah, 20 minutes later, everything came back. It was normal, but I still called because I was curious. And the person that answered my phone call, Henrietta, who was a very nice call center person, denied any knowledge that anything had happened. I said, and I told her exactly what I just told you. I said there was zero. And she goes, "Well, it says you don't owe any money on your account because you paid already. That maybe that's what it was." I said, "No, I'm sorry. This is what happened." And she denied that it had ever happened. And I wasn't going to get into an argument with her because she's not the decision maker, but
was not aware of it.
or they had told them to even deny that it had happened because it was in a small little window overnight, and I happened to see it because I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock Eastern time.
Sometimes they don't want people to get insecure that they've been hacked or they've been whatever. Hey Rita, how are you? Welcome
And
in.
that's the first thing I thought because and we've talked about this more off the air than on the air, that our enemies don't need to use missiles to attack us. They can take our grid down. They can pollute our water system. There are all kinds of other ways that they can immobilize us. They don't have to use weapons or military weapons to get to us these days.
Andy.
I know, I've stopped, but I just thought I had to throw that out there because it was like, why did that happen on the same day that the Iran situation happened?
I
So
don't doubt that there was a technical error. There's hacks going on. I mean, there's been all kinds of things that on it. Again, we're in a Mercury retrograde. It does affect electronics. It affects communication. It affects contracts. It creates conflict, and then you've got all these other planets. So I have no doubt that electronics are being affected. Could hacks be going on? I've seen a lot of hacks this week. There's a lot of vulnerabilities across the board. You're better now, Rita. So glad. Good. Good, good,
but
good.
the end point to this, I didn't mean to get political, was I wanted to thank you because in previous live streams, as we were talking about how to prepare yourself, you encouraged us to always have cash at home, always carry cash. And I had cash on me because you had told me, and I've got cash at home upstairs in an envelope because if a circumstance like that were to happen again, at least I'd have a couple of days at which I can skate through until things get figured out. So I wanted to acknowledge that and tip my hat and say thank you very much for that encouragement.
You're welcome. My daughters are finally starting to listen to that too because you don't know. I mean, honestly, I had to instruct Bella when she was moving. I had to give her money. I gave her the cash that I had in my wallet because I was like, you can't drive from Texas to Virginia without cash. She's like, why not? I said, Bella, you got to get gas to keep going. Y'all are driving over 1,200 miles. Like you need gas. You can't expect that every gas station you stop at is going to take your card.
Yeah, what if your system's down and you're empty?
Aside from, and it happened to me when I went back to Colorado when my friend was killed, um, because I didn't set a travel alert because it was very last minute. I found out she was killed. Her kids called me, got in the car within an hour and took off. I didn't set a travel alert. So as I was crossing over states, they locked my card down. Had I not had cash on me, I would not have been able to pay for our gas. And we were in the middle of flipping nowhere. So by the time I was back on the road and had cell service, I called the bank and I said, look, I'm on a trip last minute. Can you please just set a travel alert for me? Don't make me have to do it when I have no internet. And those are the things that we have to deal with. So, I think it's always good right now to have cash because it gives you a little peace of mind that if something were to happen, that you could go get what you need. And like Andy had happen this morning, you never know. There can be a bank glitch and suddenly you can't use your card. They're not going to process transactions. So what I don't want any of you guys to do, however, is to get worried. Like, there's literally no point in focusing your energy on worry. It's not going to help you at all. Literally, right? There's a couple stories like I could share with you guys. I don't know if it would be helpful or not. Like I like thinking about things in metaphors, right? And there's always little stories about things that are happening that we can learn from the little metaphors that are out there. But
we can always use stories. Tell us a story, please.
You like my little stories?
Yes.
So this is a story of a Chinese archer, right? A master archer, and he literally shoots perfectly when he's just practicing. There's nothing involved, right? But when he goes to a competition and there's a prize introduced, all of a sudden he freaks out and his hands shake, right? And it's not like his skill disappeared. What ended up happening for him and for a lot of us, our attachment to having things turn out a certain way, like his attachment to winning the competition, it distorted his perception and made him nervous. When the stakes are high, and this is completely applicable to what we're all going through right now, when the stakes feel high, our attachment gets stronger and our clarity gets less. Like our vision narrows, our perception narrows. We can't see big pictures anymore. We can just see what's in front of us. Tonight's news, or today's news with the war, it raises our perceived stakes. You guys following me? And any kind of an attachment we have to how quickly it ends and what's going to happen next, blah, 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 to any kind of an outcome, it creates inner attachment and we start to freak out. We start to get anxious. We start to worry. If you let go of all of that and don't need it to shift, you don't need it to change, your ability, just like the archer, when he lets go of his attachment to winning the award, goes back to just practicing. He's perfect. Hits it dead on the target every time. It's only when he thinks the stakes are really high that he freaks out because he gets in his head. Moral of the story, stay out of your damn heads. Thinking about what may or may not happen right now is only going to, especially for those of you in survival mode, further your spin into, catastrophic thinking. There's something that happens, and I had to use this tool. I had to teach two of my clients yesterday the same tool, because neither one of them, they're both going through two very different things, right? Both work related, funny enough, career related, and they're both high performers and in management. However, they both got stuck in the thought loop. What I was explaining to them, because it was just creating like this back and forth thing. Can't make a decision. I don't know what's wrong with me. Why can't I let this go? It's been weeks now. Something's wrong with me. Maybe I'm depressed. You start to make these judgments and analyze yourself. And for both of them, I'm like, no, what the problem is. And tell me if any of you guys relate to this. You are stuck in a thought loop and you can't find the exit off ramp. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, it's like having the needle stuck on the record. That's the analogy I use. You got the needle stuck on the record, and you just go, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If you get in a thought loop, there's a couple. I'm not gonna. For everybody, it's different. Like for this morning, Rita's saying. So for everybody, it's different. For my two clients, I gave them a specific tool that I use with my clients when we're in session, and I can't repeat it here because it takes participation. But I can tell you the thing that you need to do, the thing that will get you out of the thought loop the fastest, is to shift your brain, because your brain is turned on. You have to shift your brain into some sort of creativity mode if you want to get out of anxiety. So what are some things? We'll see if Andy can answer this. Y'all put it in the chat. What are some things you can do that puts you in creativity mode?
For me, I think we talked about it last night. I go in search of nice stories, good stories that put me back in creativity mode. Because you're right, the analogy of
No, that doesn't work. No, you have to create something.
Oh, okay.
Not watch other people create. Like, what would you do if I said, Andy, I need you to get out a pad of paper and draw something, or Andy, I need you to be creative? What would it be for you? For some people, it's cooking, it's baking.
I'm journaling now, and I would write my thoughts out and get it out of my head. And I was going to say the next thing I wouldn't create, but I do this a lot at my primary hustle, the radio station. When I feel the energy getting wonky or weird, I go out and ground myself. I find some ground, some grass.
It's a specific extra. Work with me, Andy.
I am. I'm trying to.
Work with me. Y'all can answer in the comments too. Literally. If I tell you, if you are spinning, I'm going to ask you to do something, and I want you to do something creative. What is the first thing you think of when I say I want you to be creative?
Well, I don't draw because I'm an audio guy. So I normally, and this is not creative, but I normally listen to something that calms me down and brings me back down.
Stick with it. Look, I know. And this is something you should be paying attention to right now, Mr. Resistance.
No, I am. And for those that are watching us, this is like how one of our coaching sessions go. This is how one of our sessions go. So
yeah, literally, when I say to you, you need to do something creative.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need you to find something, create something. Use your imagination, create something. Ben's saying I would take pictures to inspire my creativity. I love that. And photography, because
he's also a photographer. But he's also a photographer.
Yeah.
Is he not? So like I said, I'm an audio guy. So what I normally do is I'll produce something. I'll go into the room. Huh?
He said, sing. And Rita's saying drawing helps me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, do you know how I got creative today to keep all the energy moving so I didn't stay up in my head? Of all the things I mentioned, what part was creative?
For you?
Mm-hmm.
The cleaning.
Not just the cleaning. I specifically took my drawers and emptied it, turn them upside down on my mattress, because I have those little divider things.
You said your medicine cabinet, you did the whole 9 yards. You did everything.
I reorganized everything and like created all these new little ways of organizing. And there was something that happens in that process when you do something like that. I created a new system, right? I had to use my thought process of picturing myself in the future. That's where we get the creative mind going. Picture myself in the future. Okay, so if you're going to grab this supplement, what would be the easiest way to find it? I literally pulled everything out so that I could line them up in the easiest way for me to find things, because things had gotten chaotic where I just shoved things in the medicine cabinet. Same with my drawers, like dumped out all of my socks, all of my bathing suits, all of my drawers. I emptied all of my drawers today. I did get rid of some things I didn't need that had like expiration dates of 2014. Like, yeah, you're not going to take those supplements. You should just throw them away. Gardening helps. Organizing helps. Anytime you can get your creative side of your brain engaged, you literally are creating an exit ramp from the thought loop. Okay? The thought loop usually locks into the part of your brain that ruminates on history. It's trying to find what is this like based on the past, and we do this in life. Based on what's happened to you in the past, I'm going to catastrophize going into the future. That's the part of your brain you're locked in. And it's circle, circle, circle. So you have to create an exit point. There's a few different ways to do it. But one of the easiest ways is to find something that gets you into your creative mode and get your imagination kicked in, because now we're in a different part of the brain. And that thought loop, your brain has to change focus onto a different part of your brain, and then it releases, and pretty soon you're not anxious. Now, you can do things like I did physically, like cleaning. And in my cleaning, I was very meticulous today. Like normally I would just, wash my floors and all, vacuum and wash my floors and dust and all. I was meticulous today. And part of that was just knowing I had to really focus and go slowly. And I went very slow today. When things are going at the pace that they're going right now, it is wise to slow down. And I know it sounds counterintuitive, but it's actually better for you if you are slower and more intentional during these things. What most people want to do is rush through it. I got to rush through it. I got to hurry up through it so I can hit some ending. It doesn't work that way when you're in an anxious state. And a lot of people are anxious because of what's going on. That's why I'm saying don't have any expectation that this conflict with Iran and this BS that's going on from this administration has to end at any point. Just let it go. There's nothing we can do about it right now. I mean, yeah, you can call your representatives and say this is bullshit and we don't like it, and he's breaking yet another law. He should have gotten congressional approval. There was nothing emergency about this. They did an offensive attack, not a defensive attack. But so you can call your representative, but aside from that, you can't do anything. You can't stop it. So you're best to put your attention elsewhere where you can do something. Clean something that needs to be cleaned. I literally pulled out the drawer of my oven so that I could mop the floor under the drawer, and then my dad got in because he saw the drawer out. He's like, oh, I'm going to clean the stainless steel on the oven door. It's like, yeah, vacuum the inside too while you're at it, because crumbs most fall down there from the oven part. It's stuff like that. And at the end of it, of course, it feels good because it smells good. The floors are clean. Everything's clean, And when we have all of the stress coming at us, that pressure can make us feel weighed down and sort of heavy or dirty. So that purposely cleaning actually lightens that load too. Paying attention to it, watching social media, watching the news, that is the worst possible thing, because I don't know about you guys. I don't trust the news right now. They're all owned by the same two families. Just saying. Andy can vouch for that.
Yep. I'm not going to say any more. You know where I could go with that, and how I feel about that. So, I mean, Mr. Ellison owns one of the islands in the state that I grew up in, so we don't want to go there either.
No. Yeah.
But
Thanks for that. Thanks, Benjamin, for the heart me. Okay. So, anywho, I
but
guess
that
we're
also
going
gets
to
sort
do
of
a pause on this.
it also sort of gives you an idea.
On before we jump in, like, y'all need to either call in, tell us what you want to talk about, tell me what you want to talk about, comment, because as I was saying last night on the live stream, we're really, first of all, rethinking Saturdays. I don't think we're going to do UKNOT on Saturdays anymore. I want my life and my weekends back, especially now that it's spring. So maybe we'll do it on Wednesdays, but we can't do it every Wednesday because the third Wednesday of every month I have Hidden Wisdom. So maybe we'll do it Wednesdays. Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to think about it. I'll have to think about it. And we just started this 5 weeks ago. I know it takes time to get things moving, but I've been doing live streams on TikTok for a long time, for over a year. I've been doing live streams on Facebook and YouTube for many years. Yeah. I need your engagement to tell me. I need you guys to comment. What do you want to know about? Because if this, the way that we're doing it here, and the topics and all of that are not clear enough, some of you may or may not know this. I just repositioned everything with my website because I'm going, trying to go back to work now. My energy's starting to return, and I'm getting serious about business and work. So if the general stuff isn't hitting, I may reposition the live stream stuff too, or just do content videos and not show up on live stream. Is what true? Brenda, all I see is this true, or am I still looking outward? What are you talking about? Is what true? All I see is that. I don't know if another comment didn't come through. Brenda's asking on TikTok. I don't know. What's your feeling on it, Andy, while we're live on the air?
I think, well, you're right.
Whether or not I should keep doing the live streams here like this. On Facebook and YouTube, even though I just paid for a year on my streaming software, I can use it for other things. I mean, I can change my whole, what I'm talking about, and go more high level.
I think this is very, very constructive. The question becomes, you're right. I mean, I come from a radio background, so the most important thing is to be consistent. And as you just stated, you're early enough in the cycle, you can make modifications before you want to lock it in exactly where you want it to be. So the questions you just posited are the most important ones. What do you guys want me to talk about? What's affecting your life right now? What has you in knots that I can help unknot? You got to let me know, because I'm here to help you. You say that every week.
Shift it up and go more on the side of helping and doing live streams that are going to help the entrepreneurs, the leaders, the executives, the professionals, and go more that realm of performance and the stresses of what leaders endure.
And because you are good at that also, invariably, when you decide you want to go with a topic that may not have been suggested by anybody, it resonates with the folks that come in and listen. So I don't think there's a downside either way. But I like the fact that you want them to be an active participant in the show, not passive.
Like, I look at it like this doing live streams and doing these shows and whatnot is more my community service. I'm showing up for you guys. It's Saturday. I could be watching my K-dramas right now after cleaning all day. So,
Oh, yeah. I think this is far better than community service, but either way, and because every time we're done with a session, I'll tell you moments of clarity that I picked up in the session myself. I always come away with some gem that wasn't necessarily specifically meant for me, but may have been a story you just told, like with the archer, that resonated with me, or it may have been somebody you were trying to help, like, Brenda, if she wants to follow up with a little more clarity on that question. The sacred community that we're all a part of, we can help each other. And that's what this is all about. And that's why I enjoy the conversation. So I'd love to have it continue to go. We just need to decide with their help, where do they want it to be, so they know they can come in Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern time.
And you see the link on the screen. Do I need to make it bigger? Because you can call in, like all you have to do is type this link in your any browser. Type that link in any browser and it will bring you into our live dashboard and we can bring you up. Ben saying, I'm hearing or would like to hear more about gratitude. Tell me more. What do you want to know about gratitude? Gratitude is one of the most powerful gifts that we have and points of focus that we have that I literally do not think that people use that one often enough. Gratitude can take you out of a bad mood. Gratitude can make you stop a fight. It's real hard in the middle of a fight to continue it if instead of bitching at the person you're talking to, you literally say, I'm so grateful for you. Think about that. It's a simple thing. I appreciate you. In the middle of an argument, if you say to the person you're fighting with, most of the time it's probably your partner, before we go on, I really want to say to you, I'm grateful for you and I appreciate this, that, and the other about you. Fight's done. Or the person's no longer fighting with you. Now, if they're still screaming, that may be a whole other issue to tackle. I want to be able to manifest gratitude and shift my energy. You don't manifest gratitude, you choose to be grateful. Choose to be grateful, your energy has to shift. It's a whole other focus, right?
And you're right, because that specific example you gave about fights and being thankful in the middle of a fight, I know this is years before I met you. I used that with your auntie, and initially it made her angrier because she was fighting with me and she wanted to fight and come to some resolution. You know her personality. But eventually it got to the point where she understood why I was saying that, and we stopped fighting, and fights went away. So it works. That example you just gave, it was spot on. It took a while and I had to be repetitive about it and, keep it up. So it wasn't like she thought I was just trying to stop the fight at one time. I said, no, I'm serious. I'm thankful for you and you need to know this. And over
I
time,
mean, telling someone who's mad at you too, like, I'm grateful you're willing to tell me how you feel. I'm so grateful you're willing to tell me, share with me what you're thinking and how you're feeling. Totally disarm someone. And you make them be seen and heard, which is what so many people want. They want to feel seen and they want to be heard and they want to feel important and valued. And gratitude in those situations does it. Gratitude in your own personal life, Ben. Like, one of the people would say to me when I was going through chemo and radiation, I was bald and skinny and wrinkly and, on death's door, like, how are you doing all of this? I was grateful that I was still there. My kids, like, for them, because I'm not attached to being on this planet. I'm good. Take me home. Let's go. But for my kids, for my dad, I was grateful that I was still here because I knew they weren't ready. They weren't ready to deal with that grief. I was grateful they didn't have to deal with that grief. They had to deal with watching me go downhill. I was grateful that I wasn't in worse shape. I wasn't in the hospital. I got to be out here in my little healing hut. I had my little medical bed out here and I was out here all by myself. But I was grateful I was home. I was grateful the dogs were on my porch outside, and it was quiet out here. And I was grateful I could adjust the temperature and nobody could scream at me. and I could keep it dark or I could turn the lights on. Like there's so many little things to be grateful for that as long as I kept that focus, you know, there were moments I was not grateful. There were moments when the prednisone withdrawals kicked in that I was a raging biatch. Like I was not grateful. I didn't want to continue doing it. My emotions, my brain, everything was going haywire during those detox days after chemo. And like day 7 after my chemo infusion was usually day 7 and day 8 in my chemo journal were the worst. I was at my lowest and I still tried to be grateful. I say that to my students when they throw a fit. That's awesome. So that's how you do it. But like, you don't manifest gratitude. You choose gratitude and then good things manifest. Find and see the gratitude. Hold those moments as much as you can. Be present in gratitude. Yep, that's how it works. You know, your attitude determines your altitude. And that is not a cliche. I hate cliches. It's the
that is a cliche, but that's a good one.
It's a good one because
Yes.
It is true. Literally, if you have a shitty attitude, you can bet your ass your altitude's going to come crashing to the ground. If you have a good attitude, you're going to soar. Your mood will take off and you will lift people around you. But here's reality. If you are just a micromanaging, complaining, pointing out the problems, looking for problems and judging, not only are you going down, you are taking everybody with you. Let me give you the perfect example. The orange mango sitting at the seat of the president right now, when he gets on and he did it at the State of the Union. First, he pumped himself all up, and then he turned on the Democrats and just started going after them. And at that point, it was already wonky. Nobody was happy with what he was saying, but he did not crash the room. He literally tanked the energy of that speech, and everyone in there, and the Democrats got up and left before it was done. Took everyone with him. And there was no great gratitude. He should be grateful that, you know, you have the opportunity to work with both sides of the aisle. Why do you have to put people down? I loved when you talked about meditation. What do you guys want to know about meditation? Tell me. Meditation is not, it literally is not a mystical, magical thing. A lot of people use guided meditations. And I think when you're just beginning to quiet your mind and you're wanting to really sort of, let's just say, go somewhere in your mind, guided meditations are okay. When you get to deeper degrees of being able to meditate, the whole point is to control your breath, to stay focused, and observe your thoughts, but don't get hung up on your thoughts. So they become like clouds. You let them pass by. You don't stop them. You don't focus on them. And if you get distracted, you start over. Focus on your breathing again. Quiet everything down. My comment never went through. Weird. Jump over to YouTube or Facebook, girlfriend. Put it in there because it'll pop right into our dashboard. It's been weird on TikTok lately with comments. Not all the comments are showing up. I don't know what that is. Since the sale of TikTok, not all comments are coming through. I can't hear you, my friend. I don't know what happened.
It's called filtering. Somebody's listening and monitoring.
It doesn't say that they're filtered.
Why would they?
Usually I can see when the comments are filtered. It'll say
but primarily the negative ones, when they say they're trying to maintain the positive attitude of the community. You see that generic message.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. How to keep that state of mind in everyday life, because meditation helps, but I would love that state of mind always. So if you can't hold that state, I mean, Rita, you need to get into hidden wisdom. Like, I know you guys, like, I try to be helpful in these online live sessions. I try to be, but because we're talking generalities, and I don't know who the audience is that's coming in and watching. I typically am not going to go deep with anything. If y'all want actual lessons, classes on demand, you want to work with me in coaching, and you're not sure if you want to make like a year-long commitment, like my people in Charm Life, or you're not ready to do a real deal with me one-on-one, get into Hidden Wisdom. It's literally, I've made it so accessible to everybody. It's $40 a month. And I do live coaching for the group on the third Wednesday of every month. But you have a library of classes, on-demand classes that I've done through the years is up in that library. So,
and I can personally attest to both, and the fact that I have grown courtesy of both Hidden Wisdom and Charmed Life, and like Bernadette said specifically in the coaching sessions in Charmed Life, she turned me on to breathing exercises, qigong, and that helps me a lot when we talk about trying to stop the anxiety. And
Benjamin's, he's like, Charm Life is only $40 a month. No, that is not what I said. Charm Life is a year-long program, and it's an immersion. It's intense. No, that is not $40 a month. Hidden Wisdom is, however. Hidden Wisdom, you get to, you enter into the portal. You're part of the community. And I do a month like tomorrow. I have to do our monthly forecast, right? Both astrology and tarot, breaking it down by the signs for the month, letting you guys know what's coming up for the month energetically, how to prepare. And then on the third Wednesday of every month at 5 p.m. Pacific, I do a live group coaching session for the Hidden Wisdom people. And whoever's there gets to interact and engage with me.
And it's so cool because we are there as a community and we're there to support each other. And as I've said before, a lot of times I will get more clarity from other conversations that have gone on as we all sit there and try to support one another in the sacred space. It really is cool. I mean, and it's the best $40 you will invest in yourself because there's so much material that you will find online when you need it. That's the beauty of the archives that Bernadette has set up. It's there whenever you need it.
Yeah. Yep. And even our monthly coaching, if you can't come live, the replays go up the following day. So you have access to whatever we talked about. And like Andy said, a lot of times someone will they'll ask for help on something and you just didn't have the words to say it. You couldn't articulate it. Someone else did, and then they get help around it. And I mean, y'all, we aren't that different. We all struggle with the same stuff. And this may surprise some of you. It may not. I don't care if you are a CEO or a COO or a vice president of a company, or you're a stay-at-home mom, or you're a remote worker, or you're, a radio programmer. I don't care what you do for work. And a lot of people think that depending on the job title and achievements someone has, they struggle with different things. I'm here to tell you that is absolute complete bullshit. In fact, people at higher levels of responsibility actually struggle a little bit more because they have people judging them as not needing to talk through things, right? People that are at higher levels have people that say yes to them all the time and lie to them. They won't tell them the truth. So it takes them working with someone like me to hold space and fully focus on them for them to be able to have an honest conversation and be able to talk about things because of the level that they hold in employment. People think that they're some sort of superhuman or they struggle with the same shit. They put their socks on the same freaking way you do and their underwear on the same way you do. When someone dies, they feel the same grief. And I have all of the different ranges of people in my communities, and I work with all kinds of different levels of people. It's just funny to me because people think, oh, those people, they don't sit. Why? Because they make more money than you and they went to college and got an MBA or PhD. They're no different. They're
And once again,
absolutely no different.
I will attest to the fact that Bernadette treats us all the same. We all get this equal treatment, and a little glimpse of what you got when she was trying to coach me through something earlier. Sometimes it gets uncomfortable because she wants us to peel the onion back, and she's nudging us or going behind us
Yeah.
to get to the point that she knows that we know, but she has to get us to that point so we realize it ourselves. And
I know
sometimes that takes a
because
lot
I'm
of work.
calling y'all forward and calling you up. So hold on a minute. Rita's saying 5 p.m. my time. No, 5 p.m. your time, Pacific time, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern on the third Wednesday of every month. So no, it's 5 p.m. Pacific. I typically like our coaching because it's personal. I typically do the coaching sessions, both Charm Life and Hidden Wisdom. We do them in the evenings because I want people to have the space to relax and talk about personal things. I know coaches and mentors that will work with people and they're like, I do it during the day because those are working hours. I've always been super aware of who's in my audience, and everybody has jobs, you know. And I know for people on the Pacific time zone, right at 5 o'clock is when they're getting off. Some people, though, will just get off a little bit early that day, that one day a month in Hidden Wisdom, or on Thursdays, they're just aware of it. But yes, they're all on replay. All of the recordings in Hidden Wisdom, I keep about 2 years of recordings. In Charm Life, we literally have 500 and something replays. I've been doing Charm Life since 2014, so we've got several years. I don't have all the years. I had to pull some off because it was taking too much bandwidth and memory. But yeah. Megan, what's up, girl? How are you?
Rita, I come join us. You will have a great time.
And everyone that's in the community, they're on video, they're on Zoom, closed community. You can chat with everyone in the chat box. We have chat open. Everything is recorded. We have a couple members that always turn on the AI companion, so that if they have to turn their camera off and one of their kids asks them something, they can catch up and whatever. So it's very useful and it's very helpful. The library, like, you have to log into the website and go to your portal, but in the library for Hidden Wisdom, you've got prosperity courses, you've got meditations that I've made, specific meditations. You learn how to shield properly. We've done tapping in there. We've done all kinds of stuff. Doing tapping live is really good and usually will help the whole group. But there's even recordings from our past coachings where I've tapped with you guys, taught how to do some Qigong to release energy. There's spiritual development, intuition development in there too. There's all kinds of stuff in there for you all. I've done sessions specifically on root cause of health issues and then coaching people through their health stuff, their chronic health stuff. We've got some members in there that I've worked with one-on-one. And then we've got some members in there that are practitioners of biomagnetism as well. They don't have the background that I have, so I've walked them through, like, these are the things you need to look for. This is what you need to ask your doctor about. So yeah, it's a plethora of information for $40 a month.
It's an eclectic group of people who are, all want to grow, and we're helping each other. It really is a cool vibe.
You're not paying for my time when you join. You're literally just paying for what it costs to run those portals for what I have to host. So yeah, and it's a good community. Andy's in it, Brenda's in it, Megs is in Hidden Wisdom too. Cartomancy's in Hidden Wisdom. Trying to remember who else is on right now. And you get instantaneous access. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, you guys let us know. Let us know what you think. I'm gonna try. I'll try to come on Wednesday just to play with it. Wednesday is what's the day Wednesday? Ah, God, it's gonna be a bitch in the next couple weeks. I have the 4th.
The 4th? The 4th or the 5th?
March is the 4th.
Yeah, because tomorrow's March 1st. Yeah.
Wednesday is March 4th. According to my calendar, is the 4th. It's Wednesday.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. Because tomorrow's the 1st.
Yeah. So maybe we'll try Wednesday and see versus Saturday. I'll come on either way. We'll see what it's like on Wednesday. Because you're off that day too, right?
Yeah, and it's midweek, and there's a lot of stuff that maybe we can fix before it gets bad when it comes to unknotting things, as opposed to waiting until the end of the week. So
Ben's saying he definitely wants to join. Ben, like any of you guys that want to join Hidden Wisdom, it does not require an application. You just go to my website, BernadetteGold.com, click on Work with Me. It'll bring a drop down and you'll see private recalibration sessions, Charm Life, and then Hidden Wisdom. Or just go to my bio. Just go to my bio, link in the bio, and that'll open up boxes. And there's a button you can push to go directly to Hidden Wisdom. You join there. It's no big deal. And you have instant access. And then, see you when I go live. Make sure you join our Facebook community though, because typically if I'm going to jump on, I will notify them on Facebook. Hey, I'm going to be on, and put the link in there. It's much easier for everybody. When I do our monthly forecast, because it takes so much energy, everyone knows I'll be on the 1st. I don't ever say what time because I have to have my energy just right to be able to do those forecasts. So yeah, but I will be on tomorrow for Hidden Wisdom in our Zoom. So if any of you guys join before tomorrow, you can be part of that. Which then I answer your questions too after I get done kind of outlining all of the energy for the month. But yeah. And I literally, if you guys haven't been to my website, I just redid my entire website. Changed everything.
And once again, for the folks that are on the Hidden Wisdom, in January, she does an annual forecast, and I've been in Hidden Wisdom long enough to know how eerily accurate even her annual forecasts are on what's going to happen. So it is really cool to hang. I mean, Benjamin's going to have he already knows you and knows how fun you are.
Rita said she signed up. Yay! Welcome in.
Cool. You'll have a great time. And the beauty is, and I said,
make sure you join the Facebook group, and I'll approve your membership into the Facebook group tonight. There's a good group of people in there.
It really is. You'll have a great time. Welcome in, Rita.
People that are in Hidden Wisdom that don't have Facebooks anymore. And I'm not in there very often unless people comment. Facebook's been a weird thing for me after leaving, But I do realize we still have a lot of people in Facebook, so I keep my Facebook and my Facebook groups open. Anywho, so yeah, we'll come back on Wednesday. And then by Wednesday, we should know what's happening. We have a private Facebook group for the Hidden Wisdom community. It's a private Facebook group. And there's a link when you log into Hidden Wisdom. If you just join, when you log in, check your emails. There should be a link to the Facebook group and a welcome, start here kind of thing. And you can just, join in. And like, if y'all ever go through anything too, you can always put it out to the community, and I will answer when I have time. But the community's super supportive. Like, the people that are in there are super supportive. So, and I'm trying to set up a community within our Hidden Wisdom portal. I just redid my website though. So that's the next thing, is adding a community so that y'all don't have to be on Facebook. You can just be on the portal. So there's that. What do you think, Mr. Andy?
I think that's great. And I think Wednesday actually.
Dancing.
Mhm.
I should
That's
be
good. I
dancing.
can, you know what? And Bernadette knows this, and I call myself her CEO, her Chief Encouragement Officer, because I just think the world of her. And I think, well, over the last 3 years, she's changed my life. And when I get the opportunity, I want to let other people know that if you've got a challenge and you don't know how to face it, Bernadette can help you.
Should
And,
listen when my aunt was alive, way back.
yeah.
Should
Well,
listen.
well, you as well as I believe everything happens in its time.
I
And for
know,
those,
timing is
yeah,
everything.
and for those folks that don't know the history of Bernadette and myself, I had a 43 plus year relationship with her auntie, and Bernadette had a great relationship with Maylee, but she didn't know me from Adam. I mean, it was a little complicated, and Maylee was a little complicated. So Bernadette didn't know a lot about me. I didn't know a lot about her. I met her twice in the course of the 40 plus years, and we really didn't get to know each other until Maylee passed away, which I sort of look upon as the reason that she sort of handed me off to Bernadette, because she came to me in a dream 6 months after her passing and said, "Call Bernadette." And that's when all of this began. So, yeah.
And Andy helps me with some of the media stuff. He's been in radio for his whole life. So it's been helpful. I get tired of doing everything on my own, and I run a lot of stuff by him because he's used to that stuff. But yeah,
But I can't say enough good things about her. And if you're if
I
you're
appreciate it.
if you're wondering, don't wonder. Sign up. It'll be the best money you invest in yourself. You can't waste money when you're investing in yourself, especially when it
That's
comes to Bernadette helping you. So,
That is true. There's a lot of resources in there. I mean, it isn't about just, meeting up with me twice a month. There's a lot of resources in there. There's ebooks, there's downloads, there's all kinds of stuff in there. Like, if you want to grow and you want to get, like Rita was saying, learn how to be more meditative throughout the day, more intentional. I always tell people, if you're not ready for Charm Life, step into Hidden Wisdom. I prefer everyone get into Charm Life because that is the work. Like, that is the life work that we all have to do. That's what changed my life. That's what healed my traumas. That's what made me a crazy master manifester. You know, is the work that I take everybody through. And I didn't teach it right away. Like, I mastered it for 10 years before I teached it, before I taught it. You can access it either way, from laptop or your phone. It's easier to see things on the laptop. I will tell you that. It's much easier to see because it's a big sort of Netflix style library. There's a lot to it. So it's just easier to navigate, but it can be done on the phone.
yeah. And to that end, Rita, I started on the phone and I transitioned eventually to the laptop for that very reason. It's so much easier once you get to the laptop.
Yeah, you can see everything. It's, but yeah. Anyhow, all right. I'm going to leave you guys with this thought tonight. The world is very uncertain, and I realize that a lot of us get used to things being a certain way. And when those things change because of an administration, a president, the economy, the job market, healthcare, we start to feel like we're not safe, we're in danger. When in reality, it's the unknown. A lot of people are not comfortable with uncertainty. It feels a little too risky. I have lived most of my life purposely choosing my adult life, purposely choosing uncertainty. As an entrepreneur, you have to embrace the risk. Like, there's never, oh, I know for sure, I'm going to have an income next week. Like, it's a hustle. But when you can control how you perceive things, how you process them, how you project out into the future, when you can control it, when you can bring it back into, I'm fine and there's nothing wrong right now in my world, in my space, and settle yourself down, regulate your emotions, keep yourself calm, that is when your life changes. And you can choose to do it right here, right now. Like, it's not rocket science. It doesn't take a lot. You just have to make a choice. Am I going to continue to worry about the same things over and over? Ben just joined Hidden Wisdom too. Yay! We got 2 people tonight. Yay! Welcome aboard, Ben. You can choose, like in this moment. Do I want to worry or do I want to control my thoughts? When we can't control the world, we can either focus on feeling out of control and scared, or we then go in and we start to control what we're focusing on, how we're breathing, how we're thinking about things, what we're giving our focus to. Are we going to social media? Are we going, and watching all of the nonsense and getting sort of hyped up over nothing, right? Or are we avoiding things? You have to choose that. They are directing the narrative to keep us all too afraid to push back. We all need to maintain our peace and our calm so that we can push back. We can stand up and not be afraid to speak out. So I hope you guys all make the choice to be grateful in your lives that you have another day to get it right, to get it to be better than you were yesterday, than you were today. I hope that you guys choose to be kind to yourselves and one another. I hope that you take the lessons from tonight, even just that little thing about in the middle of a fight or a tense argument, tell the other person how grateful you are for something that they are or they've done, and watch the tension melt. It will disarm them, meaning get them out of defense mode. Some people, it will make them more angry, and then you just persist. Just persist. Some people don't know how to receive good things, and we have to remember that. Some people don't know how to receive good things. It's been a lesson in charm life for the last couple of, 2-3 weeks, Andy? We've been talking about that one, how to receive good things.
How to get past enough. That's a big threshold to get over.
Yeah, we've been working on that in Charm Life too with our group. How to get beyond having just enough love, just enough money, just enough time, just enough faith, just enough energy. It's so funny how many people, have that thing of they just enough to get by, but not an overflow. And if we're going to be giving towards others and even ourselves in the future, we have to get into the overflow and get beyond just enough, get beyond struggle, get beyond rejecting hope and good things.
One of the most important things I remember, and I'm always grateful for going forward, is that I realized in not only Hidden Wisdom, but in Charm Life, I am not alone. What is happening to me happens to other people too. So when you sit at home by yourself on a Saturday night, you wonder, why it is you feel the way you feel, come to Hidden Wisdom or investigate Charmed Life, and you'll realize you're not alone. We're all going through the same thing, and we can go through it together.
Ben saying overflowing, please. So, Ben, now that you have access to Hidden Wisdom and the portal goes through the prosperity lessons. That's where I would start, since that's where you're trying to go. Prosperity is more than money, just so y'all know. Like, we all think we need more money, when in reality, it usually comes down to something far more than money. Money's the easiest thing to create, the easiest thing. You know what's hard, though? Generating enough self-love that you can accept your weaknesses and your strengths, and that you can stop judging yourself. But if you take on the work in the prosperity, it is very basic stuff, but you'll learn a lot if you follow through and do the exercises in there. Like, I would start there to learn how to get into the overflow. Just lift you up a little bit. And then there's if you go to the meditations and the downloads, the MP3s, there's some meditations you can save to your phone, and you can start doing those meditations with you and Rita, since you guys just joined tonight. So yeah, I'm glad you guys are joining. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Like, I'm trying, because I have not pulled all the astrology yet for the month. Oh, look, March is not going to be as intense as April. Like, the forecast for April is going to take me probably a week to get done. The one for March, I've looked at it, but I haven't dialed in yet. We don't have as many transits happening. So I'm going to try to be on by about 1 o'clock my time, which is about 11 Pacific. It may be a little bit later, depending on how long it takes and how deep I go with the astrology for the month of March. You're crying? Aw, happy tears. We're glad you're joining us. Happy tears. I've known Benjamin. So y'all know, on my profiles, on my website, the picture of me on the bridge in my blue and white dress. Benjamin Martinez took that in Durango, Colorado years ago. And I love that picture so much. Those pictures are so reflective of the work I do. Funny enough, we didn't plan it that way. The symbology, we didn't plan it that way. It was just a great place to take the pictures. And it actually turned out so amazing. People say, like, you look like you have angel wings coming off you from the bridges. And I'm like, that wasn't planned either. But
that one shot captures the artistry of Benjamin. That just tells me how good a photographer he is, because he was able to capture the moment, and it is a true reflection of who you are and how you do the work you do with us. So it's congratulations to him, and welcome in, Benjamin. Looking forward to hanging with you.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Get to open up and not be judged, be fully embraced. The photo shoot was one of the most amazing ever, totally in the moment that day. That was fun. It was so long ago, I'm grateful I have those shots though, because I actually tried to find a photographer here before I got sick to update my pictures, but I just could not muster the energy. Lo and behold, it was because I was sick. And now that I'm trying to grow my hair out still from being bald and all the things, I'm like, I'll get my pictures done again. Maybe next time I'm in Colorado, you'll have to take some photos. Colorado's got good scenery. Yeah. So, anywho, all right, you guys. Wednesday. We'll be back Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll give it a try on Wednesday. We'll come on both Facebook and YouTube and TikTok, so all three, and see how it goes and what the audience is like on Wednesday. And then if we can't get the roll going, as far as topics are concerned, and you guys calling in and getting coached on air, then maybe we'll change the way the show's done. Because I'm in deciding mode right now. I'm pivoting and in deciding mode right now. How to do, what to do, where to put my energy. And as a lot of you guys know, right now, this year, 2026 is going to move super fast. We have to be intentional. Where are we putting our energy? Where are we spending our time?
Right. And but that's also why you're asking them for their input, because we all want to make the best use of our time, including them.
Yes.
So think about it and join the conversation and let us know what you
Yeah.
think the best time is, because we don't, both Bernadette and I don't like wasting people's time.
And we don't like wasting our own time.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Oh, you're so welcome, Rita. I'm glad that you're in Hidden Wisdom. Yay. I will go check Facebook. You and Benjamin, make sure you guys join that Facebook group for now until we get the community set up on my website. And yeah, because I'm going to have to train you guys how to use it. I host my website on a site called Kajabi. I'm one of the founders that was with them way back. So all the new stuff I usually get access to, but I've not had the time to deeply dive into it so I can teach you guys how to use the community feature once I set it up for Hidden Wisdom. And we don't use it for Charm Life, but we meet in Charm Life once a week. So it's constant. Like those guys have me all the time. And all of our Charm Life people have access to Hidden Wisdom. So some of you will meet the people from Charm Life in the Hidden Wisdom because they have access to that. That's part of their membership, their year-long journey with me. So yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining, you guys. I will see you later. Stay away from the news, right? Stay away from it. And I'm saying this for your own peace of mind, because there's a lot of back and forth. Is Iran coming after us? What do we need to be worried about? Don't. You can't control it. And honestly, I don't think that watching the news is going to help anybody, and stay off of the doom scrolling on social media. You know what I found? I'm going to give you guys a little hint, a little tip. Because the algorithm on TikTok, it shows you on your FYP, if you watch something, it just gives you more and more of that. The only time now that I go onto TikTok and scroll my feed, I only click who I'm following. And that way, the people that I follow that I know tell the truth about the news and events, that's the videos that show up on my feed. None of the other BS. And that way I don't have to listen to all of the conspiracy theories and the nonsense and all that other crap that hijacks your nervous system. So that's something y'all can do. It's a useful tool. Or just stay off altogether. Or limit your time, set an alarm and go on for 10 minutes. And then as soon as that alarm goes off, turn your phone off, set it down, and go do something else. Read a book, watch a K-drama, something good. Sing a song, go for a drive, go for a walk. Anywho, all right. I will see you guys later. Those of you on Hidden Wisdom, look for my message. I'll send out an email probably within about 30 minutes before I go onto Zoom and send out the Zoom link for you guys to